I don't really know why I'm recording this. I guess I just needed to talk to someone. I don't really show my face anymore. It just makes me nervous. So yeah, I'm 23 now. Still living with my mom. Still trying to figure out what to do with my life. I've been applying to jobs, mostly retail, some cafes, even one at a pet store. But every time I get an interview, I either cancel last minute or sit there shaking like I'm about to faint. I always say it's just nerves, but it's more than that. It's this thing inside me that freezes up when I have to be around people. Social anxiety, I guess. It's not cute, it's exhausting. And lately, I've been wondering why I'm like this. Like what broke me. And every time I think about it, my brain drags me back to high school. To those hallways and stupid lockers, and the way everyone seemed to know exactly who they were, except me. So maybe I'll tell that story, just this one. I remember walking down the hall with my hoodie sleeves pulled over my hands, always pretending to text, just so I didn't have to look up. Everyone had their little groups, you know. The loud ones near the vending machines, the pretty girls by the windows, the guys who smelled like Axe body spray and confidence. I didn't fit anywhere. I was the quiet one in the back of the classroom, the one teachers forgot to call on. Sometimes I'd sit through a whole day without saying a single word to anyone. It felt safer that way. Maybe that's where it started, the way I learned to disappear. At home, things weren't bad, just kind of gray. Mom worked a lot, she still does. She's sweet but tired all the time. We don't really talk about feelings or anything deep. The TV is usually on, filling the silence. I help out, pay what I can, but it's not much. Sometimes I feel guilty, like I never really grew up. But I'm trying, I swear. Anyway, back then, there was this one person who made everything feel different for a while. Evan. Yeah, that's his name. He played drums in this small band, dead inside. They weren't famous or anything, just kids playing in someone's garage, but they were good. I used to watch them after school sometimes, when they'd practice behind the gym. He had this way of moving when he played, like he actually meant it, you know. Messy black hair, dark hoodie, drumsticks always sticking out of his back pocket. He listened to Green Day and The Strokes. I remember thinking he looked like someone from a music video, not like the people I knew. The first time he talked to me, I froze. He asked if I had change for the vending machine, and I just shook my head even though I did. My brain totally blanked. He smiled small, polite, and said no worries. That was it, but I went home that day replaying the 2 seconds in my head like it was some kind of movie. I practiced what I should have said in the mirror. Pathetic. After that, I started following him on Instagram. He had 2 accounts, his regular one and one for the band. The regular one was mostly pictures of random stuff. His sneakers, sunsets, some old guitar. The band one had short clips from practice, flyers for tiny shows, blurry group selfies. I'd check both every single night before bed, like a habit. I'd scroll through the comments, see people from school hyping him up, calling him legend, rock star, my fav drummer. I never liked any posts, never commented. I'd just look. Sometimes I'd zoom in on his face, stupidly, and then feel gross for doing it. It wasn't even that I thought something would happen. I just liked pretending I was part of his world for a minute. Then I'd close the app, stare at the ceiling, and feel smaller than before. Then one day, this new girl showed up at school. You know the type, cool from the moment she walks in. Leather jacket, ripped jeans, that messy perfect hair you know she spent no time on. Everyone wanted to talk to her. She had that kind of energy that made people want to stand near her just to feel cooler. And yeah, it didn't take long. 2 weeks maybe, and she was holding hands with Evan in the hallway. Just like that. I remember the first time I saw them together. I was walking to English class. They were standing by the lockers, laughing about something. He had his arm around her, and she leaned her head on his shoulder like it was the most natural thing in the world. And I just froze. It wasn't even jealousy in the, I want to steal your boyfriend way. It was that deep kind of sadness that hits when you realize you're invisible. I walked past them, pretending to scroll on my phone, and I could feel my face burning. All I kept thinking was, how do people just end up in love like that? Like, what are they doing that I'm not doing? I'd still check his Instagram, even though it made me feel sick. There were pictures of them at the park, at some small show, her wearing his hoodie. He'd post captions like, my favorite person, or best night ever. I'd read them over and over, then throw my phone down and stare at the wall. It felt like watching a movie I wasn't cast in. And I started asking myself stupid things like, why do I never have a boyfriend? Maybe because I don't talk to anyone. Maybe because I look like I don't want to be talked to. I mean, I'd see people flirting in class or sitting close in the cafeteria, and I'd just sit there, pretending to scroll. There was this one guy, though he used to look at me sometimes. Not in a creepy way, just quick glances. For a few weeks, I thought maybe he'd talk to me. But he never did. And I never did either. So it just kind of faded. Like everything else. I think I was quite an attractive girl. Since I turned 16, I've developed nice breasts and a slim waist, but I always hide it under big sweatshirts. Then came that gym class day. We were doing laps, and I didn't realize there was a stain on the back of my sweatpants. A few girls saw it and started laughing, whispering, looking at each other. I didn't even get it at first, then I felt it. I tied my hoodie around my waist, so fast my hands shook. They kept laughing. Nobody said anything kind, not even the teacher. I remember finishing the laps with my eyes burning and my throat tight, pretending to cough so no one would notice. That day, I went home early. Mom thought I had a stomach ache. I never told her what really happened. And that kind of thing, it just sticks. Even years later, when I'm about to speak up in a meeting or try to make a friend, my brain flashes those moments. Like it's saying, remember what happens when people notice you. I think that's what social anxiety really is, remembering too much. Too clearly. There were good teachers, sure. Some tried to pull me out of my shell. But most of the time, it felt like I was watching life through glass. Like I could see everyone laughing and talking, but there was this wall between us, and I didn't know how to break it. After graduation, everyone scattered. College, jobs, moving out. I stayed. Community college for a bit, then part-time work, then nothing. Now it's just me and Mom again. She still leaves little notes when she goes to work. Sometimes, I read them twice just to feel something nice in the morning. And now here I am, hiding my face from a camera, talking like anyone cares. But maybe someone will get it. Maybe someone who feels the same, like being around people is walking through a minefield, will know they're not alone. I think about my dad sometimes. About how he left when I was a kid. I don't talk about it much, not even with Mom. But maybe that's where some of it started, too. Learning early that people can just leave. I'll talk about that another time. I'm not ready yet. I guess I just wanted to say, I remember all of it. The hallways, the music, the laughter that wasn't for me. The way Evan looked at someone else and never at me. And I think that's why now, when someone says you're too quiet, it feels like an accusation instead of a fact. Maybe that's why I shake in job interviews, why I overthink texts, why I still tie my hoodie around my waist before I stand up. Maybe that's why I'm the way I am. And maybe that's okay for now. At least I'm trying to understand it. At least I'm saying it out loud. Thanks for listening. I'll probably delete this later.